In an unprecedented achievement that has shaken the global music industry, Jin of BTS has officially made history as the only Asian soloist to enter Polestar's top 20 global concert tours, marking a defining moment in the evolution of K-pop's worldwide dominance. According to Polestar's newly released data, Jin's Run Seokjin EP tour secured the Den 17 spot with an average gross revenue of 2,043,048 per city, placing him alongside Western music giants such as Ed Sheeran, Coldplay, and Harry Styles. The list, which ranks global artists by their average box office earnings per city, highlights Jin's overwhelming international influence and commercial power. His inclusion is not only historic for a K-pop soloist, but also signals the growing global demand for Asian artists in premium live music markets like the US, the UK, and Europe. Industry observers call it a watershed moment, describing Jin as the first Korean soloist to match Western standards of global touring profitability. A tour that redefined K-pop performance launched in July 2025, the Run Seokjin EP tour covered key cities across South Korea, Japan, the United States, and Europe, selling out venues within minutes of ticket releases. Jin's concerts were celebrated for their cinematic production, emotional storytelling, and vocal brilliance, an immersive experience that blended artistry and sincerity. Critics from The Guardian and Billboard praised the tour's balance between spectacle and intimacy, calling it a masterclass in solo stage performance. Unlike many pop tours that rely heavily on visual gimmicks, Jin's shows emphasized authenticity. Each performance was uniquely themed around human emotion, love, loss, and resilience, mirroring his dual reputation as both a vocalist and storyteller. Fans, known as ARMY, filled arenas wearing coordinated white and gold, creating what Variety described as a concert that feels like a shared healing ritual. Global media reactions, American outlets such as The Hollywood Reporter and Rolling Stone quickly picked up on Jin's chart-topping tour, labeling him Asia's cultural bridge to the world. Meanwhile, European media, including Le Monde and The Independent, praised his elegance and stage control, comparing him to timeless legends like Freddie Mercury for his poise and vocal clarity. In an editorial by The Washington Post, Jin's inclusion in the Polestar list was described as the ultimate proof that artistry transcends language. The paper further noted how his ability to sell out stadiums in cities where English isn't his native tongue reflects the transformation of global pop culture dynamics. The economic impact of Jin's solo success. Beyond the applause, Jin's achievements have had tangible financial implications. Analysts estimate that his solo tour generated over $80 million in gross revenue, contributing significantly to the post-pandemic recovery of the live entertainment industry in Asia. His collaboration with brands like Gucci, Lucido L, and Maison Fred further amplified his global recognition, resulting in a measurable spike in brand visibility across international markets. According to South Korean financial media outlet, the Korea Economic Daily, Jin's solo career has already surpassed projections, with endorsements and concert profits positioning him as one of the highest-earning Korean artists, a cultural and emotional milestone. For fans, however, Jin's Polestar milestone isn't merely about numbers, it's about representation and emotional connection. Social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, erupted with celebratory hashtags such as Jin History Maker and John Run Seokjin Tour, accumulating millions of mentions within hours of the announcement. Many fans wrote that Jin's triumph symbolizes perseverance, humility, and artistic integrity, qualities that continue to define his legacy. As one American journalist put it, in an era where fame is fleeting, Jin stands as a rare artist whose power lies not in spectacle but in sincerity. With this record-breaking success, Jin BTS has not only rewritten history, but also reshaped the global entertainment landscape. His journey from Seoul to Polestar's elite list is proof that K-pop is no longer a genre, it's a global phenomenon, and Jin is one of its brightest, most enduring stars. The news of Jin's record-breaking success has continued to spread rapidly across global media, transforming him into one of the most talked about solo artists. In the United States, several entertainment outlets highlighted how his inclusion in Polestar's top 20 global concert tours is not just a personal victory but a cultural turning point for Asian representation in the global live music industry. The recognition symbolizes the culmination of years of artistic dedication, discipline, and charisma that Jin has cultivated since his early BTS days. For many, this moment feels like the fulfillment of a prophecy, Jin stepping fully into his identity as both a performer and a cultural ambassador on a global scale. In Los Angeles, entertainment correspondents from Rolling Stone and Billboard were among the first to acknowledge the magnitude of Jin's achievement. They noted that this was not simply another accolade for a K-pop star, but a demonstration of how South Korean artistry has permanently altered the global definition of pop culture. One Billboard journalist described Jin's rise as the perfect blend of Eastern sensitivity and Western showmanship, emphasizing how his concerts merge cinematic storytelling with deeply personal emotion, creating a connection that transcends barriers of language and geography. Meanwhile, in Europe, publications like The Guardian and Le Monde ran full-page articles about Jin's impact on modern concert culture. They praised the way he has redefined the solo artist archetype, moving beyond spectacle to create performances that feel intimate, therapeutic, and emotionally transformative. At his Amsterdam concert, critics observed that the audience was not merely attending a show, they were participating in what felt like a shared cathartic experience. The lights, the set design, the pacing, and even the silences were deliberate and immersive. Every moment seemed to draw the audience deeper into Jin's world, where sincerity outweighed theatrics and artistry became the central focus. Economically, Jin's solo tour has become a case study for industry analysts. Market experts in New York and Seoul noted that the financial performance of his run Seokjin EP tour was remarkable, considering the short time frame and limited number of shows. His average gross of $2.7 million per city outpaced several Western superstars, many of whom had double the number of concert dates. This efficiency and profitability have caught the attention of concert promoters worldwide, with some calling Jin's model a new blueprint for global touring efficiency, balancing exclusivity, demand, and artistic control. It's a reflection of the sophistication and precision of his team at Big Hit Music, who have successfully positioned Jin as both an artist and an investment in cultural capital. Social media has played an undeniable role in amplifying this success. The hashtag #JinHistoryMaker trended at #1 globally within hours of Polestar's announcement, with fans sharing clips from his performances in Los Angeles, Tokyo, and Amsterdam. The viral moments, from his emotional encore of Moon to the crowd's thunderous chant of Jin, became symbolic representations of his connection to the global audience. In a rare moment of humility, Jin himself responded to the outpouring of love through Weverse, writing, "Every city gave me a new reason to be grateful. I'll never forget the faces that looked back at me from the stage lights." American late-night talk shows and celebrity correspondents have also begun to discuss Jin's dominance in the live performance circuit. On The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the host praised Jin's natural elegance and emotional gravity, comparing his composure to classic entertainers like Frank Sinatra and George Michael. Fallon noted that Jin's stage presence doesn't scream for attention, it commands. This sentiment has been echoed by other Hollywood insiders, who see Jin as a bridge between generations of global stardom, the quiet charisma of the old world meeting the digital magnetism of the new. What sets Jin apart, critics argue, is the absence of overproduction or gimmicks in his artistry. While many performers rely on grand pyrotechnics or shock value, Jin's performances exude calm power. His movements are measured, his vocals are steady yet filled with vulnerability, and his emotional transparency captivates audiences across cultures. American cultural critic Lisa Morales wrote in Vanity Fair that Jin represents the rarest kind of celebrity, one who makes fame feel human. She compared his style to the emotional authenticity of Adele, combined with the visual grace of David Bowie, concluding that Jin is not just performing for fans, he's performing with them. In the days following Polestar's release, major entertainment networks such as CNN Entertainment, Access Hollywood, and Entertainment Tonight featured segments about Jin's historic ranking. One analyst remarked that Jin's brand value has now surpassed $120 million when factoring factoring in endorsements, music, and touring profits. This figure puts him among the top-tier global soloists, rivaling artists who have dominated the Western market for over a decade. But beyond numbers, it's his narrative, the soldier-turned-superstar, the idol who reinvented himself, that resonates with the public consciousness. Industry observers believe that Jin's impact will extend. His ability to balance music, fashion, and philanthropy has created a multidimensional career path that could redefine what it means to be a modern global artist. He has become a symbol of Korean excellence, not through controversy or spectacle, but through authenticity, discipline, and grace. As the world awaits the next chapter in his journey, one thing is certain: Jin BTS has solidified his place not only as a performer but as a cultural phenomenon whose influence will shape both music and global entertainment for years to come. In the eyes of millions, he's no longer just worldwide handsome, he's worldwide historic. The global spotlight on Jin shows no sign of dimming. In fact, following his historic inclusion in Polestar's top 20 global concert tours, major American and European media outlets have begun treating him not just as a pop phenomenon, but as a cultural figure capable of reshaping the global entertainment landscape. Analysts at the New York Times described his rise as a rare blend of artistic depth and global resonance, noting that Jin's solo career marks a transition point for K-pop as it moves from trend to tradition. His influence, they argue, isn't confined to fandom culture, it's now part of the larger global entertainment economy. In Milan during Gucci's The Tiger premiere earlier this month, Jin's presence dominated red carpets and fashion editorials alike. American and Italian media outlets highlighted how seamlessly he merged high fashion with quiet confidence, describing his demeanor as the calm power of stardom. His black silk ensemble, paired with Gucci's La Famiglia accessories, made headlines in Vogue Italia, which referred to him as the modern definition of timeless beauty. Within hours of his appearance, the photos of Jin at the venue had generated over 5 million engagements across social media platforms, a number that eclipsed several A-list Hollywood attendees combined. But Jin's appeal goes far beyond visuals or style. As Forbes pointed out, his business sense and long-term vision distinguish him from many of his contemporaries. Jin's partnerships with brands such as Gucci, Maison Fred, Lucido Ol, and Alo Yoga have been described as brand architecture genius, where each collaboration reflects an aspect of his personality, sophisticated, sincere, and versatile. His global marketing impact is so significant that several luxury analysts now refer to him as the K-pop Midas, suggesting that everything he touches turns into cultural gold. This reputation only strengthened when Women's Wear Daily reported that Jin's Gucci campaign contributed to a 12% spike in engagement metrics among consumers aged 18 to 34, a demographic long considered the most difficult to capture in the luxury market. In the United States, Jin's name has become synonymous with a new kind of celebrity, one that blends global prestige with human warmth. People magazine called him the rare artist who feels untouchable, yet entirely relatable. His interactions with fans, whether during tours or online, demonstrate humility and humor that contrast sharply with the aloofness often associated with global icons. Even his nickname, Worldwide Handsome, once seen as a playful boast, has evolved into a symbol of confidence and charm that resonates far beyond Korea. Culturally, Jin has also become a bridge between East and West. The Washington Post highlighted how his emotional approach to performance and storytelling has introduced new audiences to the nuance of Korean artistry. Unlike many Western performers who rely on shock value, Jin's stage presence is rooted in authenticity. When he sings songs like Epiphany or Yours, audiences don't just hear his voice, they feel his sincerity. Critics describe it as emotional minimalism, where restraint becomes a form of expression and simplicity becomes power. His influence has even entered academic circles. A recent lecture at UCLA's Department of Global Music Studies cited Jin's Run Seokjin EP tour as an example of transcultural resonance, explaining how his performances create a shared emotional language between people who who don't even speak the same word. Professors noted that Jin's approach to live performance, emphasizing narrative flow, human emotion, and musical storytelling, has opened new discussions about the evolving role of Asian artists in global pop culture. Back in South Korea, Big Hit Music has confirmed that Jin's upcoming schedule includes several major projects extending into 2026. Though details remain confidential, insiders suggest that these could involve collaborations with Western artists, soundtrack features, and global endorsements. American executives from entertainment conglomerates like Warner Music and Paramount reportedly attended his European concerts, hinting at future partnerships that could further expand Jin's reach across industry. One insider described Jin as a once-in-a-generation artist who balances humility with empire-building potential. Financially, Jin's success has been just as impressive. Following his tour and fashion appearances, multiple U.S. business outlets ranked him among the highest-earning Korean entertainers of 2020. Bloomberg Entertainment wrote that Jin's financial trajectory places him on track to become one of the most valuable solo acts in Asia within the next 2 years, while Variety noted that his fan-driven marketing model could serve as a case study for the modern entertainment economy. Fans, however, seem less concerned with the numbers and more moved by what Jin represents, a sense of perseverance and gratitude. His ability to remain grounded despite immense fame has made him a symbol of stability in a fast-moving industry. When asked in a post-tour interview about his legacy, Jin humbly said, "I just hope that every song I sing and every stage I walk leaves a good memory for someone out there. That's all I've ever wanted." The statement, simple yet profound, captured what makes him so universally admired, a superstar who measures success not in wealth or awards, but in the emotional footprints he leaves behind. As the American and European media continue to spotlight Jin's triumphs, one thing is undeniable: he has transcended the boundaries of K-pop and redefined what it means to be a global artist in the 20s. His music, his image, and his character have all converged into something rare, a legacy in motion. Every city he visits, every stage he graces, and every heart he reaches brings the world one step closer to understanding why Jin BTS isn't just a performer, he's a phenomenon rewriting the rules of fame itself.